Stephen Colbert has a bit of a problem. His name does not appear on the South Carolina primary ballot, and the state doesn't allow write-in candidates. So how can he continue to run for president of the United States of South Carolina? Well, with the help of Herman Cain. Cain is still on the ballot in South Carolina, and Colbert is now asking his supporters to vote for the pizza man.
Because Cain and I are so similar, I think that if this Saturday Herman Cain were to get a significant number of votes, that would be a sign that voters are hungry. Hungry for a Stephen Colbert campaign. Anybody who shares my values can show it by voting for Herman Cain.
Well, as for Herman Cain, he thinks it's a great idea. Cain will tape a segment for the Colbert Report in South Carolina on Friday, tweeting this caveat: to be perfectly clear, I will not be assuming Stephen Colbert's identity. We are very different when it comes to the color of our hair. Colbert's super PAC, now run by Jon Stewart, released this ad explaining the situation to voters.
There is one name on the ballot that stands for true Americanity: Herman Cain. Americans for a Better Tomorrow believes a vote for Herman Cain is a vote for America. On January 21st, vote Herman Cain.
Let's get some insight from Ari Melber, correspondent for The Nation magazine, and Democratic strategist Krystal also with us tonight. The poll shows Obama at 41%, Romney at 38%. This is PPP poll, and Colbert at 13%. Will this alter the outcome, Ari, on Saturday in South Carolina?
He could take a bite out of it. This was actually the plot of an Eddie Murphy movie, The Distinguished Gentleman, where they said, if you have the right name ID and you say you're the other candidate, you can win as him. In that case, it was one who'd passed away. And Herman Cain, again, shows he's not very serious about this since he's playing along.
Sure. And, of course, if you never know, Stephen Colbert could finish ahead of Rick Barry.
Hey, it's not unheard of. Maybe you should throw your hat in the ring, Ed. John Huntsman's name is up for grabs on the ballot.
Yeah, really. Here's what Mitt Romney had to say about coordinating with the super PAC last month.
I'm not allowed to communicate with the super PAC in any way, shape, or form.
So you're not coordinating in any way whatsoever?
My goodness. If we coordinate in any way whatsoever, we go to the big house.
Colbert and Stewart, they proved how easy it is to not coordinate last night.
I can't tell you, but I can tell everyone through television. And if you happen to be watching, well, I can't prevent that, John. Oh, I have an idea. Okay, hold on a second. I am calling on the super PAC. I cannot coordinate with them. I can't communicate directly, but I can speak out as a citizen talking to you. And I am calling on them not to run vicious character assassination ads that impugn and borderline slander any candidate if in any way those ads could be traced back to me.
I mean, we are at the point now, Krystal, in American politics where two comedians are doing more to help the process than the politicians are, to help Americans understand exactly what the hell is going on out here.
Although, in fairness to the Republican nominees, one of the most beautiful things out of this campaign, in a campaign that has not been very beautiful, has been seeing them all up on stage complaining about super PACs and themselves highlighting the role of money in politics. But also, political satire has a long history in American culture and American politics. Stephen Colbert has done an amazing job really pointing out the absurdity of the situation and making it very real for a lot of people.
So, will this change anything, Ari?
Yeah. I mean, I think, number one, it's going to scramble things in South Carolina a touch. If Herman Cain picks up even 3 or 4 points, we're going to hear complaints about who that took votes from. And then the other piece is, I agree with Krystal, most folks don't care about process that much, right? People don't worry about media bias until they feel the bias hits something they care about. And so the process of super PACs is arcane, but the absurdities that are on display are huge.
Could we see the Democratic president, Barack Obama, and the Republican nominee, whoever it may be, broker a deal to cool it?
I would love to see that, and there was a call for that by Andy Rosenthal at the New York Times saying, what about a mutual non-aggression pact? Ultimately, it's got to be in the law, though.
Krystal, what do you think?
Well, I think that's a possibility, and the other piece I want to throw into this is you have Americans Elect, which is likely to be on the ballot in 50 states. Someone with a big personality like Stephen Colbert could very well get the Americans Elect nomination and have a big impact in the general election.
Krystal Ball, Ari Melber, thanks so much.